Welcome back. Connect Summit County has recently launched a brand new mental health awareness campaign called Part of Our Nature. Here to tell us all about this is Deanna Rhodes of Connect. Thanks for being here, Deanna.
Thank you for having me. Always fun to be here on the show with you, Christine.
And you are always welcome. Excited to hear more about this campaign, Part of Our Nature.
Absolutely. So we just launched this campaign on Tuesday. And first I want to say, we are so grateful to Cats Amsterdam Foundation. They actually have put $600,000 into our community for mental health. And this anti-stigma campaign was actually their idea. They convened mountain communities together, so other people that are just like us, Tahoe and Vermont and Whistler, and we got to get together and really flesh out what would be an anti-stigma campaign that could resonate in all of our communities. And then Connect Summit County, we are stewarding this campaign to our community here in Utah, and we're just so grateful to them. That's above and beyond the monies that they've been giving to additional services, and we can do a lot more together than we can do by ourselves. So that's so powerful.
Having the opportunity to connect with these other towns that have similar challenges, a similar kind of way that they go about business, being resort communities, is a really great way to learn from one another. And you're also able to individualize this program for your community. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so, it's really interesting. Ever since we started, in March when we went into shelter in place, and then since then, gradually coming out of shelter in place. And, one of the things that we've really seen everywhere, whether it's a mountain community or not, is that a lot of people are experiencing something going on with their mental health for the first time ever. And so I think anti-stigma is so important right now that we address it and we tell people in our community how okay it is to not be okay, and, make all of Summit County really a safe space for all people, no matter what they're experiencing. And so the campaign is called Part of Our Nature, which, right here in a mountain community, what can resonate more than animals and wildlife and mountains and nature and just being outside. And so really great, that's the unifying part of the campaign. And what Connect Summit County is doing is we're really trying to work with all of our community partners to make this our own. And something that we know is really important in our community is that we hear from people and their personal stories and people that we recognize. So super excited. We are launching the campaign with some surprise guests, if you will. They are recording our radio spots, and you'll start to hear them on the radio. The first one is the Bluebird. And eventually, in a couple of weeks, we're going to reveal who that voice is kind of before that animal device. And, what's interesting is a device like an animal saying some information about part of your nature, they can disarm us, right? They can, a little bit of humor, a little bit of, they can just break down barriers. But then once that barrier is down, we can really come back and really tell this story of the person and the human that is behind that animal device. And so really excited about that. And I don't want to give it all away, but it's a little mystery for us all to figure out.
So you've been able to find individuals right here in this community who have been open about their mental health struggles. And they've talked about how they have had problems with mental illness in order to hopefully help others. And these people are voicing these animals in order to bring awareness, reduce stigma, and really to educate people that it's okay, it's part of our nature.
Exactly. And, I'm excited when we get to the point where we're unveiling them. We really took a lot of care to not only find people that had a story to tell, but hopefully someone that could be relatable, and so we have, and you will hear this as you hear the voices, but we have a mixture of male and female. We have a mixture of ages. I'm not sure if that comes out in the voices, but it will come out once you see all of the ambassadors together. And while we have seeded our first 5 ambassadors is how many we've gone with, we also hope to get more ambassadors. What we hope is that this really empowers individuals in our community to come forward and say, yes, I want to tell my story too. And I think we know that, right? As human beings, the thing that makes me understand more or have more empathy is when I know my neighbor is struggling with something. Suddenly I understand the situation in a very different way. And so that's what we're trying to do. And again, I made the reference to making Summit County a safe space. How incredibly powerful would it be if 5% of the people here in Summit County were incredibly open about their mental illness and their mental health struggles, whether it's themselves or as being a caregiver for someone else who's struggling? How powerful could that be for other people in our community to come forward and get the help that they need?
Well, and exactly. And not only is it a goal for people to come forward and, if they feel comfortable, be open about their struggles with mental illness and mental health, but also to help people who maybe are in the thick of it and haven't been able to reach out for that help and haven't had that confidence or the resources. Really, we hope that those people will come forward and anonymously, they don't need to share their story, but get that help so that they can move on with their lives.
Absolutely. It's, we've had a couple of events, Zoom events this week, and they've all been recorded. So you can go to connectsummitcounty.org and catch them. But one of them was a gentleman who has written young adult books about his personal struggles, and he did attempt to suicide when he was younger, and he speaks very openly about that. And having this Zoom call with him, which was pretty much open to the public, was still incredibly disarming in the sense that he was so vulnerable about telling his story that the rest of us that were participating felt very open to really share our struggles. And I think there's so much power, and there's power for other people because it gives them permission, but it's also really powerful for ourselves to be able to know that we can talk about the real things that are going on, things that are part of our nature, without judgment or fear of retaliation or any of that. And that's what stigma is, right? It's fear of not being who you are and not expressing what you're experiencing.
And really incredible with how much can be done virtually. You've had to change and pivot, and many things are being done virtual, like you mentioned, these support groups. You had a resiliency training yesterday that was virtual. So I'm really impressed with everything that Connect Summit County has been able to do to support one another, to provide that vulnerability, to help people realize it's okay not to be okay. We encourage our viewers to head to Connect Summit County online. You can find out all about this new campaign, Part of Our Nature, find out more about animals that will be featured, voices, all of those great things, as well as they have many resources to find that help that you need right there on their website. So thanks to Deanna Rhodes for joining us this morning. We'll be back with more right after this.